Sound speeding.
I have to pay parking. Okay. Parking is good. Ready. Action.
Hello? You probably feel dreadful. Queasy. Nasty little taste in the mouth. Headache. Would you like some water? That's better, isn't it?
Who are you?
A psychologist.
What does that mean?
That I study people's emotional states.
I know what a fucking psychologist is. I'm asking, why am I talking to him?
Because I'm in charge of the facility you're in.
I'm in a psychiatric hospital?
No.
Then what? Where am I? And where's my husband?
You're a biologist.
So what?
You completed your doctorate at Johns Hopkins. Your area of research was the genetically programmed life cycle of the cell. Is it fascinating?
Where is my husband?
Yes. Let's talk about him. Sergeant Kane. When did he arrive home?
That depends how long I've been here. I think it was yesterday.
Had he contacted you at any point over the last few months?
No. He left on whatever he was doing. Whatever spec ops mission. That was the last I heard until he disappeared. Until he reappeared.
He didn't tell you what he was doing or where he was going.
He never did. I never asked.
But you made regular requests for information about him to his unit co. Until 6 months ago. Then you stopped. Why was that?
We had an agreement between us. 6 months of radio silence meant I was to assume he was dead and move on.
It's not easy to move on.
I didn't. You know what? I think I figured you out. You're CIA. And Kane was on some kind of operation for you. And you think he told me something before he got sick. So let's cut the bullshit, okay? I'm done answering questions. It's your turn.
I'm not CIA, but I used to be. And your husband is in the same building as you. And I should tell you, he is extremely ill.
Ill in what way?
We don't actually know. He doesn't test positive for any known conditions, but objectively, he is hemorrhaging and his organs are failing.
He's dying.
Yes. We have him on life support in a cold-induced coma. His metabolism is slowed nearly to a stop. It gives a degree of time.
He must have came into contact with something. Radiation, a virus of some sort. For Christ's sake, I might actually be able to help him. You have to tell me where has he been and what he was doing.
I can't talk about that. You understand.
Clearly I don't.
You understand that I am not going to talk about it. I'll be back later.
You still haven't told me anything about what's going on or what I'm doing here.
We'll speak again.
At least let me change out of these clothes. I'm covered in my husband's blood.
And cut. Cool. So my note to you guys is dare to go further. Okay? So what I'm seeing is like there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, but there is the horizon is much higher, and we're not daring to go there. It's almost like they want to, but you guys are not allowing them to do so. Okay? There is a holding back that is happening. Okay? Well, who is she to you?
My last hope.
Yes. Your last hope. Why?
Because she might know something, and this is my last chance to find out, because I'm on my last legs at my job, and she might know something, and she's the only person who could help me to potentially get there.
Mm-hmm. This whole thing is very interesting, right? Because her husband is lost somewhere in that blurb or whatever it is. He escapes, you guys find him alive, the only one so far. Goes to her and brings her in. And she might just be the right fit for this little mission you're putting together, right? Hopefully she's the one who's gonna help to figure this whole thing out. And you come in here, I need to see more of that. You're dying as well, right? I need to see more of this whole experience that you had in there. You know, you come in here, you're studying her, you're watching her, you know? And I think the elusive answers here, it's not so much that I cannot tell you anything or whatever, it's just that this thing that we're dealing with is so much bigger than this. You know, and you gotta figure this out before you guys run out of time. So it's a very interesting character to play with because it's very existential in a way. Okay, in this very high horizon, like it's the end of the world, these aliens have landed, we don't know what's going on or whatever. So I need to see a little bit more of that. You know, it felt kind of very straightforward. I need you to turn up how important is this to you. And she's kind of interesting once they're in there, and that hasn't happened yet, but she needs to figure things out, which is another thing that this one has as well. You both need to find the truth. You have some sort of desire to find the truth of things, you know? So there's a recognition in there, you know, like when a like-minded person finds another one, you know? There is an intuitive recognition of the other. And I think that sort of happens more on your side because you're dealing with the whole situation.
Yeah.
So, but later on they'll side up when we're deciding, do we continue or do we let it go? Okay? On your end, I find that you're kind of holding her back vocally, physically, quite a lot.
Yeah.
You can let that go. You start the scene looking down all the time. Okay? When you're looking down all the time and you're placing your attention and you're focusing your energy on the floor of the table, that's where it all will go. Okay? So, I'm not saying you can never look down, but open up. You know, as a rule of thumb, and that comes from theater, but it's true on the set as well, always have yourself up, open to the horizon. Okay? And if you need to look down, you look down further ahead, but you're still open. So that you keep the energy flowing that way.
My thought is like that she's thinking, you know, like she's analyzing, she's trying to figure out where, like what's going on, where am I?
So that's your thought of the actor, the actress, thinking about the character. At some point you need to let go of that and you need to become her. She wants to be there because I see her in there, but the actress is controlling her, not letting her come through. Okay, so you have many impulses that are not followed through because Nicole is these are my ideas for you, and you gotta do them, okay? Then you gotta let go of that. That's cool to have those ideas in the process of rehearsals,
Mhm.
but then I have to let go. Because the process, it's one of building, it's not one of stagnation. This is the answer, period. It's not like that. It's what else? What else? What else? That's the process of creating a character. What else? Just like you guys, human beings, we're always changing and evolving and finding new things about ourselves. That's true for characters as well. You don't decide, this is my character, done. Because then we created one level characters, okay? We want them to be multifaceted. We want them to build up, okay? So you gotta let go of the ideas. I see the impulses over there, vocally and physically, and you holding her because of your idea that she's thinking,
Mhm.
okay? Which might be true, but it's not gonna be true all the way through the scene.
Mhm.
So you gotta let go of that. So you're gonna be very physical, I think, from the little I've seen you do scenes, and you gotta trust that. You gotta trust your impulses and your instincts, okay?
Okay.
So the scene feels very tamed right now. And they're both there, but we're not allowing ourselves to go further, okay? So the scene feels very, very safe. And at the end, when you have those lines, can I at least change? I have my husband's blood. It becomes very, very tamed, very, almost like at a soap opera level, okay? Because we're not in the right horizon of the scene. We're talking about aliens and some sort of weird life that, goes into your body and takes over and whatever, okay? So we don't know what this is. So it's high horizon. And I gotta allow myself to play at that level. Make sense? So those lines will make sense when we're talking about all these things. It will make sense because we are in that reality. Yes? Sort of?
So your main note is to go further.
Oh yeah.
To like follow through with the impulses.
Yes, always go further.
Yeah.
So what we want to see in class, it's not a job well done. Okay? We don't care about that because that's what your competition out there will be doing in their auditions. Okay? Most of them will do a job well done. But you know better than that. You know that you're gonna bring an experience to those rooms, the audition rooms, the set, the stage, whatever you wanna do. Okay? I'm gonna bring an experience they'll never forget. That's where I want you guys to go.
And I feel like something that's holding me back is like the fact that she got injected with the tranquilizer. So like I'm not sure how much energy I'm supposed to have if she's like still feeling like a bit drugged and queasy and like the headache and all that.
So that's for you to find out by doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because people will do amazing things under extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah, true.
Right? So it's nice when you have those questions. Ask yourself or the character that question and then do it. And then go further and see what happens. Okay? So again, and I'll go back to this note over and over again in the next few weeks. Don't put limitations on yourself. Don't judge the characters and the story. Whenever you have a judgmental or limiting thought, belief, idea about the story or the character, then you must do the opposite. Because the answer might be right in there. You don't know if that judgment is coming out of fear, okay, out of your own limited ideas and perspectives of where it's coming from. So I must try it and see if it works or not, okay? But that's the nature of this work that we do, this creative process that we do, is play. Try things, play, go further, okay? Get out of your comfort zone, because what you guys did was very nice, but it's within your comfort zone, very easy and nice for you guys to go through the scene. I know there is more because I see the impulses that are not being followed through. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So listen to them, to the characters. Jock?
Yeah, cool. Basically, it's the same thing. This is an unusual scene because it takes place in the first act. and it has everything that a third act scene would have, okay? And so it's unusual. Now, just playing it sort of like a typical first act scene, that would be fine, what you just did, okay? But it's not the circumstances that have happened. And so the real note that we're giving you is the idea the stakes are much higher in this, okay? And that's the idea of going more. Julie, how many people have you killed? Don't forget that, okay? And you have an idea about maybe it's women that go in there, right? And it's a unique idea, okay? Many people have told you you're crazy, but you're going to go through it. Here is the perfect choice for a scientist, and she's got some military background, okay? For a science, she's perfect, but you got to make sure she's going to be right for this. Got it? So your whole life, and it's not much longer, okay, depends on her kind of passing this, you know, this test. It's not really a test, but you got to see, can we connect? Can we get something going here? Got it? And the stakes are life or death, okay? Now, on the other end, Nicole, I like what you're doing. All of those ideas are absolutely legitimate, okay? But they're only ideas at this point. Got it? So, yes, she's going to be thinking, you know, what's going on. She did get zapped in the neck, okay? Adrenaline overcomes that very quickly. Got it? So I need you to raise the stakes. I need you not only thinking about what happened to my husband, but what the fuck? They drugged me. The next thing I know, I'm in a room. I can't get out of here, okay? And then some woman's going to come in. All right? I want you life or death, too.
Okay.
You know what this is. It's CIA bullshit. They could kill you and get away with it, right? Because of my husband, or I don't know what's going on. I want you to turn up a woman who is literally in a life or death situation. And you have to figure out what's going on. You have to wonder if your husband's alive or dead. His blood is on you. It'll help if you've got an old shirt or something and put some. That helps. Okay, it really does.
I tried.
All right.
I just couldn't find a shirt.
There's everything. All the things you mentioned. Okay, you mentioned 2 things. There's probably 35 that are going through her head. Right? And she's thirsty like hell. Okay, because of the drug. That's an after effect. But I want you just to keep adding to it. Isabel and I say all the time, don't throw away what you have, but let's add to it. And I dare you to add way more than you think is necessary.
Okay.
I need you in survival, okay? You're going to jump across a table and bite her head, okay? If it doesn't go well or something, all right? Okay. Turn it up, ladies. Everything else is there. Let's turn this up and get into the life or death situation both of these women are in for different reasons. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go nuts in this one. The stakes are life or death, literally. So get in there and let's see what happens. I thought you made him real. I believe that you had that husband and you kind of made him real.
I was working hard on that.
I do that. It's just the experience of watching him fall, you know, on the floor and all the blood and everything else that's going on. I need you to add that in there too. Yeah. And how weird he is now is very strange. Something has happened to this guy. All right?
You think?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, moving on.
Next up, we have Mohammed and Gael with the second work of Last of Us, and after that, we have a break.